area. Their home has been in the family for generations. Denise's mother bought it as a young woman. Adonis, Coach AD, is a well-known former football star in the Pasadena-Altadena area who played for Pasadena High School and Pasadena City College. He went pro, but suffered an injury. He's been a popular youth football coach in the community for decades. They also have started a GoFundMe to help them start over. Coach AD, Denise, and their daughter Rochelle join us now. Glad to have you on the show again. Our condolences for what you're having to deal with and go through there, and so many other families. As I asked Danielle, when did this begin? When did you first were alerted that there were dangers regarding these fires? What day, what time?
Tuesday night, approximately 10:30, when we were told to evacuate.
So there's been a lot of people have been criticizing Mayor Karen Bass for being in Ghana for the inauguration, and people were saying, well, there were alerts before that. So let me go back to Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Were y'all seeing it or feeling anything Saturday, Sunday, Monday that gave you an indication that, oh, there might be some trouble happening on Tuesday?
No.
Nothing that I can remember, no.
So the conditions Saturday, Sunday, Monday were just what? Normal conditions in Southern California?
Normal, yep, everyday regular conditions.
And then all of a sudden Tuesday comes, and in the daytime Tuesday, was it slightly windy? Was it so when did all of a sudden things begin to just change?
Like Tuesday, early Tuesday morning, we had the winds were picking up, kind of heavy, real heavy. Then like with the newscast, it said it might be fire involved. But we done heard about fire before.
Yes, I mean, y'all, man, this is like I've seen the reports that like, look, there've been fires and you've had winds at 40 and 50 miles an hour. Can you remember a time of Santa Ana winds 100+ miles an hour, gusting that hard and heavy?
Not in my lifetime.
No, not that I can think of, no. Nothing that heavy.
So from a wind standpoint, y'all had never experienced anything like this. Plus, something I asked Danielle about. Normally, y'all are dealing with wildfires in June, July,
Exactly.
through October.
Right.
So all of a sudden, you're dealing with winds that you've never dealt with before, in a month, 6 months earlier than you normally deal with. And so for the average person, you simply are not expecting this to happen in January.
Now, we
Correct.
went from, actually, like you said, in January, we should be wearing a nice winter jacket, and the wind part, and it even tried to sprinkle a little bit as well that morning. But it was still warm, warning of the fire, and we just got bombarded with like all three that day. That's the part that was real spooky, plus a power outage.
So all of these things, again, moving, just frankly, converging. Y'all got the notice that night to evacuate. What were you able to grab anything, or was it literally get out now?
Well,
we knew the fire was happening, and because of where we live, we're at the base of the foothill. So I kind of told him, let's start gathering some things just in case. So we were able to get some paperwork, a few clothes, and that was really about it.
well, after she said that, and then within the half hour, it turned into no. Like, now I'm like, let's go now. And she did mention they haven't said anything to us yet. But when I went up to the street, the way our house is sitting down, you couldn't actually see the fire over the mountain. So I walked to the street, and then that's when I seen the red sky. And I just told her, we kind of got into it. I said, we're out of here right now. I didn't wait until no patrol car came or nobody knocked on the door. Neighbors were in the street, discussing this matter about what time should they pull out. And that's what we ended up doing. It's time to take off.
This here is a video that gives people an indication of what those winds were like on that night. And pull the audio up, guys. That is, that shows you right there just how fierce those winds were and how they were moving.
Right.
Yes.
In hurricane speed. It was just crazy.
And listen, I'm from Houston. I've lived through multiple hurricanes. Hurricane Alicia, the eye and the tail came over our home there in Clinton Park community in Houston. I know what hurricane winds are. And when you're talking about gusts anywhere from 100 to 120 miles an hour, that's where I'm trying to explain to people, you could not send up helicopters and planes to douse the land.
No.
Right. No way.
No, I mean, it was the way it went, like you said, you could not. So the best thing to do was to vacate and just really pray to God and cross your fingers that your structure will still be standing in a day or two. That's the way it went. Like she said, we just grabbed a few things, thought it was just going to be a day or so. Ended up with, 3 pair of socks, 1 pair of shoes, and a jacket.
I'm gonna ask Danielle. I'm gonna come back to y'all. Danielle, I pose this to my panel. The blame game. The folks who will say, "Oh, Mayor Bass, how dare you? Governor Newsom, how dare you? Oh, Democrats, y'all made this happen. California insurance regulators. Well, the insurance industry had to make money, and so y'all put them in a difficult position." Are people having those conversations, or are folk like you and your parents and the Jones really wanting other people to say, shut the hell up, we're the victims and y'all are just talking?
Yeah. People are having those conversations and they are blaming a lot of people. Excuse me. It's still really smoky, but they are having those conversations. And for us, we just want to rebuild. We're trying to just get back to some sense of normalcy, and to see everything just go down like that, it is, you couldn't imagine. I mean, you see the videos, but to actually go there and see our house was still on fire when we got there to see it. My dad actually passed out, and he ended up getting burned. He ended up cutting his hand in 2 different places because he couldn't believe the devastation that he saw. So, no matter what happened, however it happened, at the end of the day, our community is burned down to the ground, and that's the bottom line.
And for the Jones family, again, this is the people, again, for people who outside who have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Altadena is its own city, correct?
Yes.
Pasadena is its own city.
Exactly.
Yes.
Santa Monica is its own city, right?
Yes.
Malibu, is Malibu its own city, or are they part of Los Angeles?
No, that's their own city.
So
They're not a part of our family.
So, but all of these people, again, who are pontificating, don't even understand that you're talking about literally municipalities that are individual municipalities. So it's not like this is all Los Angeles and all of that. And so that to me also, again, is also why I wish folks would just shut up. But what, Jones family, what do y'all make again of the blame game that you're seeing play out on mainstream media and a bunch of other people who are yapping on YouTube and other platforms?
Well, that the yapping and that kind of stuff, and like the lady said just now, with her watching the place burn, we're so much of a tight community right there, Altadena. The yappers, until you actually go through this yourself,
Yep.
I think you need to be quiet because there's a lot of hurt families. We have lost people to death of this fire, the tragedy, heart attacks, strokes, whatever. If you didn't move fast, then you might not be here today. So it was a training that we went through on the run. And you can't practice this. So it's a shame that anybody that has never been through it, lost their loved ones or their childhood home to burn to the ground, and now sitting in the waiting game of what so and so want to give you and this, and applying for all these different loans and getting stuff out of people's closet to cover your back, then I think you need to just really pipe down.
I'm gonna ask the Jones family this, and then Danielle's this. For the Jones family, was this the first time y'all had to flee your home as a result of wildfires?
No, it's the first time that I fled. When I came back, there was no home. But no, it's not the first time that I have had to evacuate.
Gotcha. So you've had to deal with that before. Danielle, same for your family.
My parents, there was one fire where we needed to evacuate, but my father declined to do so. We all left, but he did not. And fortunately for us at that particular moment, during that fire, and there were winds that time too, now that I think about it. He stayed though, and the house was fine. And so this time when they were told to get out now, he figured we'll come back tomorrow or in a couple of days and we'll still have a house like like all the other times. But this time, no, it's gone.
Nola, give our audience just the perspective, the historical perspective of Altadena and African Americans.
So first of all, my heart goes out to the Jones family and to my cousin. I love you. Our family's been through a lot, and we will get through this too. Altadena. So, a lot of people talk about Pasadena, and when they talk about Pasadena, they're typically talking about the Rose Parade. I went to high school in Pasadena, so I spent a lot of time and a lot of years there. In many ways, I guess the second part of my life, I grew up there. And Altadena always had this pride of place within a Black community because it was always this affluent Black area, but not the type of affluency that necessarily comes from everybody in the entertainment industry. Another huge misconception about everybody who may have property in California that somehow you have to be adjacent to the entertainment industry. We're talking about families that work those good old 30-year jobs, those good old government jobs. My Uncle Roland, my cousin's dad,
He got a great name.
Oh, anyway, Roland. Anyway, the other Uncle Roland, he bought that plot of land and poured his heart and time and soul into it, and the beautiful backyard that you saw, that's a culmination of decades of love, time, and energy. And you roll through Altadena as a Black person, and there's this sense of pride that you feel because all these Black people own these beautiful homes and they pass them down generation after generation. And I cannot help but to think about the similarity in New Orleans East. When Hurricane Katrina happened, that was another affluent Black area that is just gone. And so the things that I'm concerned about, what I saw that happened during Hurricane Katrina, first of all, there are going to be insurance issues. There are going to be loopholes. Did you have this type of insurance? I mean, there was a family in Katrina that the insurance companies contested. They didn't have insurance to cover the second floor of their home, flood insurance. So there's going to be all this stuff you're going to have to deal with. And then there's going to be people seeing opportunity, wanting to come in and buy land from people cheaply because they're vulnerable and they're desperate and they're hurting. So you're going to see that. And then, unfortunately, you're going to see a community that's going to try and come back together. And I hope and pray that Altadena is able to do that. But what I've seen is that it is nearly impossible to bring back that specialness and that uniqueness in a natural disaster situation like this. And then another point that I want to make about Altadena, I really hope and pray that the seniors, that the elders were able to evacuate. People don't understand about the aging population in Altadena because, like I said, these are generational homes. These are people that, worked for the post office and stuff like that. We are talking about seniors and elders in Altadena.
Yep.
And maybe some of them did not get out. I don't know.
Well, actually, that was one of the stories that I was just reading. That's what a lot of the firefighters fear. They said as they get these under control, the death toll right now is 10, and they fear that is going to go up dramatically because of people who didn't leave their homes. People who I remember there was a video we posted that was two guys were in their home and literally it was fire on all four sides and they were still in it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, may have thought like what Danielle said her father did the previous time by saying, I'll ride it out. And again, I know what that's like when you have family members who say, I'm going to ride a hurricane out, and you're like, you're not.
My daddy did it in Katrina. He got out the last minute and had to go to Xavier and was locked in Xavier for 2 days and he had to swim out. I understand.
Absolutely. I'll start with Danielle. Danielle, what's obviously it's all about rebuilding, but what's next? What do you, for your parents and others, what do they do now?
That's a good question, Roland. We've been trying to figure it out day by day. We've been doing everything that we can do. We've been following the claims. Unfortunately, these insurance companies, they are not, doing the best that they can do. And they did cancel a lot of people in Altadena. They were planning to cancel my parents next month. Or where they were up for renewal and they were saying they didn't think that they were going to renew the policy, so the insurance is going to be an issue for a lot of people. Fortunately for my parents, it's not going to be an issue, but they are still trying to, lowball my parents, they're not trying to give the proper value. So that's a fight that we're going to have to fight. And I just hope that other residents in our community will stand firm and stand tall and fight and fight to the end and get what they actually deserve. They worked hard for it. And so I just pray that they don't walk away and they don't give in, and that we, as hard as it may be, we rebuild so that we can continue to be there. And, Altadena is a great place to be. And I want to see Altadena come back to life. And I just hope that everyone has the wheelhouse and has the will just to stay and fight and just rebuild and just stay in our community and build it back up.
Jones family, where are you now? What's next for you?
Rebuild. We're going to. I have been in contact with numerous of families, homeowners or whatever, so we may say, and we have been chatting about staying strong, like she said, sticking around. We're not going nowhere, and we're ready for the fight. Far as the insurance purposes, what they want to lowball or whatever, our guns are loaded and we're ready to go.
Pull up the GoFundMe for the Jones family, please. They have posted this. If you go to YouTube, it says help Adonis, Coach AD, and Denise Jones rebuild after the fire. And so if you go to GoFundMe, you'll actually see that there. Also, a couple of major black law firms, attorney James Bryant, Rodney Diggs, Brian Dunn, Rod Davis, along with activist Jasmine Koenig, they also have a GoFundMe called LA Fires, the impacted black community urgently needs help. And so that is it right here. They have a targeted goal of $55,000, $9,500 has been raised. The amount for the Jones family, I don't have that one up, so y'all, but folks, please do what you can to assist this family, to assist these families. Danielle, do y'all have a specific one, or
Yeah.
what is yours?
Ebony has it. Nola. That's it.
Give me the name so I can search it, then pull it up.
Oh, it's Kristen's C. So Kristen is Kristin apostrophe S, and then it says Kristen's grandparents.
All right, let's see if we can pull that up. Control room, if y'all have it as well, go ahead and pull it up. Let me know. Kristine apostrophe
No,
S.
Tin.
Huh?
I just
Oh,
Kristin.
Tristan, got it. All right. Tristan's grandparents. So, guys, if y'all could pull that up. But again, we want our audience to assist. Again, this is a huge moment that people need. And so this is the time for our folks to step up as well. So we'll share all three of those GoFundMes on all of our social media accounts. In control room, y'all can
Thank you
pull
so
up,
much.
y'all can pull up that Tristan one, guys. Go ahead and let me know. So again, let me thank the Jones family. Let me thank Danielle. We are thankful that all of your family members are safe, that y'all are healthy, and so. Of course, no one wants to lose their belongings and a home. But as you said, Coach, homes can be rebuilt, lives cannot be restored once they
Exactly.
are over. So, again, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
love you, Danielle.
Thank you. Love you too.
This is